Hello. Hopefully it's not too loud with this music here. Good morning. Good evening, everybody. I'm so excited to see you all. And if you could just either put in the chat if you can hear me. If you cannot hear me, let me know. We're going to be going through some stuff. You need your handbook and your chemistry book. And hi, everybody. I'm excited to see you all. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Marianne, for telling me. Okay. Happy Monday night. This will be my new office, Panera Bread, for the foreseeable future until I get my office back, but that's okay. We just need to meet up and we need to keep staying motivated. So I would love anyone to just unmute for a second. If you have any issues you've been dealing with this week or concerns or frustrations. I know a couple of you I chat with quite often, but some of you I don't. So would love to just hear anything that might be coming up for you. Just as we wait a couple minutes before anyone else might jump on, because I have like 4 or 5 more people I'm waiting to see jump on. Anyone have anything they want to share or ask questions on or chat with for a second?
I've got a question. Trying to find it here. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, perfect. So I was watching the video for the VitaFlex training, the DVD, and then following along in the book you gave us at the care thing. So on the colon shin VitaFlex, on the video, he says to use the oil, VitaFlex the oil 3 times, and then do the next oil and VitaFlex it 3 times on the shins. The book that you gave us at care says to layer the oils on the right shin and then VitaFlex just 3 times, and then just layer, like rub the oils on. So anyway, I want to get it right. So what trumps which? The book is correct or the video is correct?
Always the notes, the book.
The notes. Okay.
And what that looks like for the shin is you put the oil in your hand. You start with whichever oil you're going to do. When you demonstrate, you don't even have to use oils. So all you have to do is show me shin and spine. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But if you were doing it in a protocol, you would put one oil in your left hand, activate it, shin, and then foot. And then you would do that 3 times with that same oil. And then you would put more oil in the right hand, activate it, do down the left shin and the left foot. Okay. So it would be one oil on the right foot, same oil on the left foot, next oil on the right foot, next the same oil on the left foot. So it's always balancing. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem. The videos are old and I apologize. I've been trying to come up with some sort of just consistency until he comes out with the new videos. But if you can just search the videos that are in my group, that's going to be the best way to see and witness all of the proper ways to do it. Although if it's more of the detailed version, like how you do it in a protocol, he doesn't go over that. It's just the basic things. So if you can't find it and you need to look at Anthony doing it, there's videos in my group. Just search the VitaFlex videos. And more recent of him just doing it in his house with his kids.
Okay, that's great because I'm very visual, so I love videos.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. No problem. Okay. So Chris, can you hear us? I saw she just tried to connect to audio. Do you think it worked, Marianne? Do you think she's on? Did you show her how to do it?
I tried to show her and my phone's not cooperating. I'll try shortly. Don't worry about me. Just get on. So we'll see.
Okay. She may need to agree to do the audio. I thought that she was trying to connect. I wonder if she can hear us now. Or is she not on at all? Let me see if I can ask her to start the video. That will work for her. Okay.
Let it drop. Thank you.
Worst case scenario, you can have her go off and go back on. I can try and text her really quick. Oh, I can see her video coming up.
Okay.
Chris, can you hear us?
When I first got on, I couldn't. I had to figure out how to go in and do the volume. She may not be able to figure that part out.
Let me see. It says connecting to audio. Let's see if she can get on there. Hey, Lindsay, how are you doing? Good. Okay. Maybe I can send her a phone number just to call in and listen rather than trying to get on this app.
Okay, because yeah, I helped her download the app the other day, and I know she knows where the link is, but
Sometimes
we
it's just challenging to get it going. Okay, I don't know where my thing just went. Okay, 1 second, you guys. Sorry.
I wonder if I touch the screen and then do a screenshot where she can see that the little mute button thing. But she should still be able to hear you, right?
Right.
Mine said something about joining or okaying an audio or something. I tell you what, I'm gonna jump off. Let me call her real quick and I'll come right back in just a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna tell her I'm texting her a phone number to
If it doesn't work, she can at least listen.
just to click the number and just dial
No,
Oh wait, that's her.
in. Is she on?
I'm on.
Whoa, yay!
Yeah.
Hello.
You can do tricks. Yay, Chris. I'm so happy you're on. Way to
Oh,
go.
it was a challenge, but I made it.
Yay.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna have everyone do is we're just gonna talk briefly about the handbook, understanding the handbook, why we have to go through it, and I'm gonna re-explain step 7 and step 8. Because when I went back to look at I think it was the 17th edition of this, I did it a different way. They changed the rules since I did it. And I guess apparently I've been teaching people the wrong way for the past few years. So I reread it and I was like, this is a lot more detailed than I did. I always did step 7, 8, 9, and 10 together. They want you to do them completely separate. So we're gonna go into our handbook and we're just gonna discuss what 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 look like together with everybody, okay? So on page 112 in your handbook, the little purple book, we have step 7, which is non-classroom VitaFlex practicums, one set with 10 different people. This means that you need to go in and find 10 different people, invite them over to your house or go to their house and do all 13 techniques with them in their home. Just practicing, no teaching them. If they ask you questions, you can kind of teach and guide them, but teaching does require you to show them on another body. So that doesn't include this session. So I'm very, very sorry for everyone that I've told that you can teach and demonstrate step 7 and step 9 at the same time. Pam, I think I shared that with you before. And it's according to my mentor, I went back and asked her, she said, we used to do it that way. And they don't want us doing it that way because you really want to get a handle on practicing before you go ahead and teach. So for 10 people, you're going to practice all 13 techniques. And those 13 techniques they're all written out in your notes, but if you don't remember them, we will talk through them, okay? So they are, let me see here. I wrote it down on these pages. Okay. Okay, where is this? Yeah, right here. So sorry. Okay, so these techniques are the spinal points on the feet. So you're gonna, on your spinal chart, you're gonna find that spinal point on each foot, and you're going to show that. The colon clearing on the shins. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna do a screen share, and see if I can show you really quickly some stuff that I have created to make this easier. I think I've downloaded them before. And no, it's not in here. Never mind. I'm not gonna do that right now. So you're going to just take your person's foot. You're gonna start on the right side, and you're gonna VitaFlex up the spinal points. Right, 3 times on one foot, 3 times on the other. That's it. That's a practice. That's one time. You do not have to do anything big with it. You don't have to make sure it's perfect. You just have to try and get that on their foot. Then you do the colon clearing on the shins. That's what Pam was asking about. You take your hand, you go down with the right hand on right foot, down the shin, and then up the spine. Same thing on the left foot, up, down the shin, up the spine. And then the colon clearing on the bottom of the feet. That is when you look at your spinal chart, the colon clearing is up, over, down, and then out. And you do that on the foot 3 different ways: sitting next to them, standing in front of them, and then sitting in front of them. Okay, practice that. Then you do the lungs on the feet. So the lungs look like, the lungs are like, if this is my foot, it's just this portion up here. Okay, that's the portion. You go from outside to inside and practice that 3 times on one foot. 1, 2, 3. Other foot, 1, 2, 3. And you do it by VitaFlexing. Okay, straight across. This is like my representation of my foot. So these are my toes. It's kind of weird, but that's what I have. I can't show my foot on Zoom. Then we go through the bronchioles on the feet. That would be like on the tops of the foot, okay? And you start from the outside, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. That has to be done 3 times, okay? And then repeat it, 1, 2, 3, 3 times each, 3 times, okay? Sinuses on the toes. The sinuses are on the necks of the toes, okay? If you do the necks of the toes, you're going across. And then you do that on the other side 3 times. And then the head and the brain on the toes is going from the necks of the toes to the tips of the toes. So that goes up. Sinuses go across, head and brain goes up, okay? Then we go through the VitaFlex on the head with the hair pull. That's back to front on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 3 times each. 1, 2, 3, 3 times each. And then at the end, you do that gentle hair pull. Okay. The heart pump. Now this one, you have to make sure that you understand the heart pump, because there's 2 spots. Remember, the bottom and then the top part. Find one of those and then take the other point on the hand, and you're going to do it at the same time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, it's 2 parts. Then the heart is on the left foot. So left hand, left foot, same thing. Under the ring finger, 1, 2, 3. And then the last one, not the last one, but the one that takes the longest is going to be the VitaFlex for the ears. And not everyone likes their ears being touched. So if you have issues with doing the ears, you can always close their ear instead of sticking your finger in the ear. But this is the one you have to use oils with. Okay, so helichrysum, ylang ylang, geranium, lavender, anything, purification. Even if you look in the pocket reference book, you can find information on that. And just pick what they want to use, or you pick what they might need. And then you do the whole technique that way. And then don't forget, underneath the chin and up and behind the ear. Okay, under the chin, all the way up and behind the ear. And then the little 2 toes, that's the ears as well. And then you do the lymphatic pump. So they lay flat on the table, you move their feet in that rhythm, practice that. And then the hip atlas, where they sit, you VitaFlex the shoulder, you stand up, they walk, go back, sit back down, you remeasure. Okay, so it seems like a lot. It should take you about an hour. If you're just consistently doing it 3 times on each side or 3 times total, you'll get through it in about an hour. If it takes a little bit longer, don't worry about it. Just let them know, come for an hour, and they'll feel great. You don't even need oils and it feels amazing. Okay, any questions on practicing step 7? Good. It's a lot. I know. Marianne's like shaking her head like, oh my gosh. It's gonna feel like a lot. But the best part is when you do this, you're introducing people to the techniques. And then if at any point in time, like there's a couple of us on here that also run a Young Living business. So this is a really great way to bring friends and family in and show them that you're learning this and maybe earn a couple extra bucks to put away for a rainy day or to put toward college fund or to put towards, people who are sick. It's really cool how many people ask you how to order once you start doing these techniques for them, because they're like, I need this at home. And then if you bring that person back with their partner or with a friend or with a sibling, like let's say you have someone over and then you invite them back again and you say, hey, will you bring a friend? And then you can practice on your friend, or will you bring your husband and you can practice on your husband? I'm going to teach you how to do it on your husband or your friend. And then that person who comes also practices it on you. So you get a technique. So that is how we do step 9. We teach it by having groups of 2 come. Okay. And he said that you can do this. You can get 2 signatures for every group of 2. So step 9, you get 2 signatures for every group of 2. So you technically only have to do 3 teaching sessions, not 6. Okay. 3 teaching sessions. That's a little bit different than what I told you before. It makes it to be where it's like an hour and a half up to maybe 2 hours. 2.5 hours or up to 3 hours of teaching time, because you're going to be showing someone and then showing them again. Does that make sense? Does everyone understand that? Because you're going to be showing one person how to do it and then having them flip flop. So one person's on the table, the other person's doing all the work on them. And then after that session of all 13's done, they flip. And then the other person's on the table and then that person's doing all the work on them. Okay. So it's technically 2 teaching sessions in one. Okay. So for someone who doesn't have a lot of downline, or for people who don't have oily friends, you can do this on family. You can do this on children. You can do this on your partner, your siblings, anyone who you can just get to come and practice on, especially people who aren't feeling well. If you know somebody, remember when I had you guys practice your vision by writing down 10 people that you really thought needed this, like when we were on the call last week, or I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe. I wanted you guys to think about those people, because those are the ones that you're going to want to call first and say, you've been on my mind. God has planted this in me and I need to share it with people. I need to practice it to get licensed. Can I practice on this, on you? And would you let me bless you with this? Okay. So think about those people. Think about the ones that you want to bless. Think about the ones that are struggling with sickness, pain, emotional problems. That's where we want to get started on. Okay. All right, so that's step 7 and step 9. Now, step 8, it says 15 people to practice raindrop on. And it says 10 of them must be different, and then you can repeat 5 of the ones that you did, okay? So if you already did your husband, your children, you can do them again, up to 5 people repeating, but should be 10 that are different. And I think that's just for integrity purposes. Some people were not doing the right thing. They were cheating and just writing people's names in, or just repeating their family members multiple times, and then weren't really doing it. So a cool part about that is you're seeing a lot of different results with the raindrop. You're seeing a lot of different people coming in. Your family members get blessed as well, and more exposure. So even if they're younger, my 4-year-old was one of the people that I gave a raindrop to. He still signed my book because I did it for him twice, and I did his little measurement, and you have to measure each person. So don't forget to measure people and save those or take a picture of those and just have that. I show people all the time those measurements, and they're like, still, how does that happen? Some of them are huge. Some of them are 2 inches. Some of them are not a lot. And that's just cool that you get to vary them and see the differences there. Okay. I'm so sorry if the music is so loud. I feel like I can barely hear myself think. So then we have teach raindrop to 10 people. Number 10, teach raindrop to 6 people. And same thing with the VitaFlexing. You can do groups of 2. Okay. So let's say you invite your sisters, 2 of your sisters over. You teach one how to give a raindrop while the other sister was on the table. Okay. And then the next hour, or maybe hour and a half, you flip flop them the other sister lays on the table, and then you teach the other sister how to do it. Okay. So you're teaching 2 people in 1 session. It will take about 3 to 4 hours for that. So plan accordingly. And then you get 2 signatures for your step number 10. Okay. So in the meantime, it feels like that might take months to accomplish. But if you were to start looking at your calendar, feasibly, if you have 2 days a week where you did 1 raindrop and then 1 day a week where you did a teaching session, you could get this done in about 6 weeks. Okay. For people who really want to push through, I'm sure you could go faster, but many of us work, or you could do it in 12 or 18 weeks if you wanted to push it out and do 1 raindrop a week and every other week do a teaching session. You do not have to rush with this. You have 2 years to accomplish all of the stuff until you get to step 11. Okay. Step 11 is where you come to me and you show me that you've done all of the work up to this point. And I test you to see if you are good enough to become not only a facilitator, which is like someone who's licensed, but also a teacher. And sometimes you're ready to be a facilitator, but you're not ready to be a teacher. And I'll just tell you that at that time. And that's okay. You have more time to complete it again in the future. Okay. So that's how you do step 7, 8, 9, and 10. I apologize. I just had to make sure I was telling you the right thing. And if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to me personally, or we can talk further about that, especially if I've told you the wrong thing. I'm really sorry. I feel terrible. I should have read my handbook a little bit better, but it's just like, once you start teaching it and you're a supervisor and you just do the same thing over and over, it's like, I didn't even realize it shifted. So mine said you could teach all of these 6 people at the same time. So I only taught 1 class because that's how I did for a few of these things. So here we go. The next part is, what does it mean when people are becoming on this road? Like, why do you want to gain all of this information? Why are we going to study chemistry tonight? Okay. The most important thing is that nobody really needs to know any of this. Nobody has to go through a care class. Nobody has to get certified. But when you have the little bit of knowledge, it's like when you know how to plant a garden. If you know how to plant a seed and water it, and then make sure it's watered, and then pick all the fruit and the veggies, and then can it, you could do that with any vegetable, right? You don't have to know how the specifics on green beans if you already know how to do string beans or tomatoes or zucchini. You might need to look up a little bit, but once you understand that gardening is really simple, you can apply that to everything. So once you understand that essential oils are very, very simple and you don't have to do a lot of work, all you have to do is put it to work, right? You have to just take action. Then you can put this in every area of your life. You can transform your health. You can transform your home. You can transform the lives of other people. And once you know that and you see that, it becomes such a different energy than always trying to figure it out. Like, oh, I'm struggling. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, I have someone in my life that I just don't know how to help them. Well, you have some suggestions that you can make. And that's why I love it. People come to me. I have a lady, she is Polish, and she doesn't have a really great connection here in the US. And she comes to me and she gets treatments all the time. And she barters with me right now because she's struggling with finances. But we're working on getting her healthy enough so she can go back to work. So it's nice because even when you have these tools, people just come to you because you're a safe person for them. And another big thing is when you are providing a service, you're also sharing your energy. So it's no longer, you have all this information, what do I do with it? You're gaining the confidence by going through this process. You're gaining the confidence to share the energy and to share the lessons that you learned. Okay. You're no longer just holding it all in, not knowing what to do with it. You have the courage to move forward. That's why it's like practicing. That's why if you've ever done any sort of training in the past where you've had to do hands-on training, you go through the book training and then you have hands-on, and that's what gives you the confidence. Okay. So even if you do it wrong, even if it takes you 5 hours, even if it's a struggle, it's because you want this and you want to be good at it. But remember, I wasn't good at it at the beginning. I've been doing this for 8 years. Okay. So nobody's good at something that's brand new. It takes time, especially if this is your second job. especially if this is not the field of work that you're in. I was a health coach. This was easy for me to bring into my life. Some of you don't have health businesses, and that's okay. So just pour into it what you want out of it. If you want to feel better, do it for you. If you want to help others feel better, bring all those people that you want in your life to you. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Lisa, you doing okay? Good to see you tonight. You doing good? I don't know if she can hear me or not. Maybe her phone is going out. Lisa, can you hear me? Lisa. You can't hear me. Okay. Anyone else have questions? Chris, do you have any questions? Lindsay, I know Lindsay's not even taken her class yet, and she's already like over here taking notes. I love her. She's like the epitome of like the preparer. I love it. I love it. I bought all the books before I went to my first class too, and I had them mostly all read. So I feel you. Anyone
Can
else?
I ask one question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think I've got all of the steps down now on who needs to be where and when. For the teaching part, if I would have a group of, I know I've got one lady that was going to come as a group of 3. If that happens to where I've got like 2 of them doing it on each other to where that's the teaching and then they flip. If the third person, if like I do it on her as I'm demonstrating to them as the teaching aspect, can that person be one of the receiver? Like, could that count for 1 to receive and then 2 teach, or no?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
go for it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes because it's a lot. This is a lot. I didn't do this much, so I'm thinking that as long as you're practicing, you're showing 2 people the full thing by giving it to one person. You don't have to teach that one person. So if you did multiple groups of 3 and that third person never got to practice, that's fine. But maybe that person would want to practice. So just see how it goes. Maybe it'll just longer and she'll get to practice too. I don't know. But yes, that will be fine.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it's 7:30. I wasn't going to go too much further into the handbook stuff because I just didn't want to go really deep far into it. But one thing I want to share with you guys is about step 20 in the handbook. It's the final exam. So this is one of the things that if you're ready to consider going on to becoming a teacher or a care intern. And let me tell you the difference, okay? A care intern is not a full teacher. You cannot teach classes, but you can go to everything that's based on Summit. You can go to all of our summer advanced classes. You can go to all the advanced trainings in the summer at the farms, and you can do all of that aromatherapy training with us, okay? That's a really great perk to do it. If you don't want to be a teacher yet, you don't feel confident, but just getting licensed enough to become an intern, you can attend all of the advanced functions with me and all my colleagues with care. You become part of care. Okay. Before that, you're not technically part of care. You can be a licensed raindrop technique specialist, but that's not through care. That's through the FSHLB, and that's through the CRTS program. And so they don't really do much for you except advertise on their website for you. But once you're a CI, you can attend everything that we can attend. And it becomes where you're now earning credits towards your license. You're getting CEU credits, you're taking advanced classes, this is your job now. Okay. I was only a CI for like a week because then the next week I became I got my full license. Some people stay a CI for a very long time and they don't want to become fully licensed because they just don't feel called to teaching at this point. You can also co-teach with any other teacher once you're a CI, that you can be their assistant and you can teach with them in any capacity, except you can't fully teach the class. You can be their assistant and co-teach, but you can't teach the full class. So it's really helpful for people like me. I'm always looking for CIs. So if you don't want to become a full teacher, a CI is a good thing for you. And then if you're a CCI, a full teacher, you can teach the Raindrop and the VitaFlex and the Bible Oils class. So anyone who thinks that they want to go on to that point, I would recommend printing out the final exam as soon as possible. Lisa just messaged me, I think yesterday or today, and said that she got all of her typing done and has only a few more questions left. So congratulations, Lisa. I'm so proud of you. I think she just popped off. She didn't even hear me, but she is working on getting her final class done very, very soon. And I'm so thrilled. She'll be at my next big event, probably in November or maybe early spring. She'll be getting her license as a CCI. The final exam is split up book by book, but the questions are all disorganized. It's jumbled. So I recommend, even if you're not ready to start answering the questions, print out the test and highlight every single question a different color that correlates to your book. Okay, so blue was Raindrop, green was Vitaflex. I think purple was Emotional Release, orange was Bible Oils. I had pink for the handbook, and then I had yellow for the chemistry. And I went through and highlighted every single question in that exam so that I could do one book at a time. Because for me, I did not want to have my brain that disorganized. It was very hard for me to be like all over the place. And then once I found the answer to the question, I wrote it next to the answer, and you have to do that anyway. And then I highlight it in my book, answer to question XYZ. So in my book, I wrote the answer number, because if you end up going on to become a supervisor, you can help mentor other people like I'm doing. So writing down where those questions are will be great for you too. Okay. So that's really all that I have about that. You can find the exam on raindroptraining.com, and you go under the certification portion and it just says final exam, and you can just click and download it. You can even do it on like Google Drive and just save it and highlight it in there. I liked having a physical copy though, because I liked putting the page numbers. I just like to write. My body likes pen and paper. And then when you're reading, you can have something to write on when you're taking notes. And then you can just do one book at a time. Like we're going to do Monday nights, the CARE handbook, questions about certification, and we're going to do chemistry. And then in another time, we'll do a different book study. I think I want to do Vitaflex book first, because a lot of people want to get more experience with Vitaflexing. And I think it's a great book to do when you're cleansing in the fall, when you're getting your body ready. And plus it's cold and flu season for so many people. So it's a good reminder on how to stay healthy. Okay. All right. Any other questions about handbook before I move on to chemistry? We good? Everyone good? Okay. All right. So, I really, really, really like this book. If you can find it, or if you have it, it's not available, by the publisher anymore, but the CARE website still has it. It's called The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple. And or made even simpler. It's David's book watered down into like 55 pages. And it's very, very easy to understand. This is what my child will learn chemistry from this year, and she's 8. So I'll be teaching her chemistry with this book, and we'll do it with essential oils, and it'll be really fun. So it's a kid's level. And tonight we're just going to talk about why we need to learn chemistry. Okay. And we don't understand a whole lot because we're not chemists here. Like many of you probably don't have a chemistry degree. But it's cool because in our studies, we can learn a little and gain a lot by just doing a little bit of chemistry work. Okay. So why do we need to learn chemistry? You don't really have to learn it. You can enjoy oils, even if you don't have any information on chemistry, but you can apply and use them better and more effectively if you know what to do. The whole premise of the PMS oils, like the phenol, sesquiterpenes, monoterpenes, is that we layer them. We don't put them in roller balls. We don't put them in sprays. We absolutely try and layer them so that they're useful for the scrubbing, the deleting, and then the reprogramming. When you make it into a roller ball, you mix all those oils in together, and then they're combining. They're electrically combining. They're changing. And so if you put everything into a roller ball, you're changing the properties of the oils, and they're not going to do exactly what we know that they'll do. Okay. So, let's go into the most important reasons for studying chemistry. So, healing with essential oils is really, really intuitive. Okay. It's a spiritual, process. It's a gift acquired by being receptive. So how many of you in here, and you can go ahead and unmute, how many of you in here were just led to the CARE program for some reason? Like you don't even know how you got to a class. You don't even know how you found it. You don't even know why in the world you spent so much money to get there. I mean, it's not a cheap class, right? Plus you spend all the money on the books, you spend money for travel. Like a lot of you travel or are going to travel to see me. I'm so honored. And many of you have no idea why you just got shoved into this like pathway. But can anyone tell me, just by sharing with the group, what brought you to this? Like what led you there? Does anyone want to be vulnerable tonight and share?
Okay. Hey, I was led to all of it just because I want to get away from all the unnatural, all the 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 prescriptions and all the bad things for us. And I just want nothing but the good stuff for my family. I want them to be able to be well by taking things that are good for them, that are going to, help them with everything from how they functioned, focus to, just live their lives. I want them to have the best chance possible for all of that.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the moment where you were like, I'm just gonna find out what to do, or do you remember what prompted you? Like, was it a side effect? Was it something where you didn't have access to something? Or, I mean, is there a reason why specifically that you knew, or is it just because like one day just God led you to like stop using certain products?
Well, I think God's been working on me for a while because I slowly over the last several years tried to change, go to something different, and I've been slowly changing things in my household. But I just felt like it wasn't enough. It was a lot of superficial things I was doing, and I really needed to get deeper and, not just try and find better house cleaning things. I needed to find things that, when I honestly, my kids both have ADHD, and I hate putting meds on. I hate giving them meds in their bodies because I know that it's not good for them, but I also know it's not fair for them to not take them because they can't function without them. So there's got to be a better way for them to function without having to use things that are man-made and chemicals that are not meant for their bodies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Okay. So God was leading you to just supporting them in a different way. I love that.
Yes.
Good. Anyone else? It's okay if you don't want to. I just figured we would offer a little chance to be vulnerable. Okay, so for me, my personal story was that I was very, very sick and in my pregnancy, and I was not able to function. I was basically on 4 or 5 meds, like really strong anti-nausea meds that they would give to cancer patients. And my doctor said, you know what, you should probably stop trying to keep this baby alive. The baby is probably going to pass because of all these medications that you're on. And when the baby passes, you'll be feeling better. So just don't worry about it. And in my mind, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm pregnant. I'm not like, this is a symptom of pregnancy. Like the whole point of, being on these medications is to survive the pregnancy and have the baby, but that wasn't their thought. They didn't care about that. So for me, I saw it in a group. Somebody said Raindrop is going to help you. And I went and traveled to a class all the way to Indianapolis, which is like 3.5 hours away from me, and stayed at a hotel. And I had my first Raindrop session and was healed basically from taking all those medications. I never took another medication after that class. And so I know a lot of people have experiences like that in the classes. And, a few of us have even been able to share major shifts. Like I know I've been into class now with Lisa a couple of times, and every single time she's come back to me and said, I just feel so different after that class, after that Raindrop, after that experience. So again, it's a spiritual connection. It's a spiritual pathway that you guys are going to be taking. A lot of times people are really strong in their Young Living business too. And then like a few of these leadership people that I've seen now, a couple of these diamonds and higher up, they're like, God led me to Raindrop and I have no idea why. I make so much money just selling oils, but now I'm going to start putting hands on people. I'm going to start anointing them and blessing them. And it shifted their whole entire world. So every time you take a step into your chemistry book, you're going to get these little, I don't know, I call them God winks. Like he's just going to wink at you and tug on your heart and say, well, this is for you. I'm giving this for you to heal. I'm giving this to you for you to read more into how your life is going and how to change your life for the better. Okay. So that's why we're learning chemistry. It's for God. Okay. It's a spiritual thing. It's not even a chemical. Okay. So, this book has a lot of stuff for you. If you read the whole introduction parts, it's really, really sweet. And next week, I'm just going to ask you guys your takeaways from the introduction. So mark it as homework for, reading the introduction parts, and going over some of the reasons why you might want to be, doing really well with chemistry, why you want to know. Okay. It's not about being the smartest. It's, oh, Lisa says her service is going in and out. Okay. I will talk when I can. It's okay. No problem. So just go in and try and read through the introduction and try and go through, some reasons why you may want to go deeper into this. A lot of the students I work with, they start and then they stop and then they start and then they stop. And that's okay. We all have lives. Okay. And I've done a lot of growth. I've had to take breaks. I've had to take, I go fast and then I go slow. I've had babies in between. I've had big life changes and moving, and my husband was sick. So if there's a time where you can't be progressively moving forward, just remember the oils are how we're connected. So keep using your oils. That's the main thing. Okay. So let's go into part 1. Review and critique of resource literature. I want you to remind yourself as the fall season comes to be that we are going to be really inundated with a lot of lies. Okay. A lot of lies. The lies are coming in strong. And if you are someone who watches mainstream media or is on Twitter and sees all the garbage that people put out and all the refutes that come out on Twitter, you just need to know that the social media world is going to have double-sided, and you might, if you share, that these oils or something is antimicrobial or antiviral, just don't put a picture of Young Living. Just say, wow, I'm using cinnamon oil and my family hasn't gotten sick all winter, or I'm using cinnamon and peppermint oil and I can breathe so much easier. Just remember to not use Young Living's name with any disease claims. Okay. You can always share about what a plant can do, but you can't say Young Living's name in it. You don't want to be flagged. Okay. You don't want to be flagged for false information or for diagnosing, treating, or curing anything on social media. One thing that we do know is that these oils, are produced with the highest quality, and some people may come and attack you about that. They may come and say to you that there's no healing that can be done by these oils. And remember back to on page 3 in the chemistry book, the 3 schools of aromatherapy. We have the German school, we have the English school, and we have the French school. And I like to think about social media in that manner. Okay. Social media is yours, mine, and the truth. My viewpoint is the French model. I look at things in a way that I can use the plant in any way God wants to use it for me. I can use the plant any way God wants it for other people. So if you have someone who is really attracted to thieves oil and they're using it for an emotional reason, cool, let them use that. Enjoy that. But if you're trying to refute with someone who says thieves oil doesn't kill germs, just leave them. Don't worry about trying to change their mind, because they have bought into a system of lies, just like the British model. Okay. The British model or the English model emphasizes that essential oils can only be used in a diluted way. They can only be used very, very mildly, and they're not for healing. It's only for pain relief in massage. And we know that that's not true. If anyone has prevented injury or sickness from putting thieves on, or if you used to get sick and now you don't, we know that these oils work. But trying to change someone's mind who believes a different model than you, just like if you are a big I don't know how to say that. If you let's see here. If you think that Ford trucks are terrible because when you were a little kid, someone told you that they're fix or repair daily, so you never will go buy a Ford truck, yet someone has a Ford truck and loves it and it's been the best vehicle, it gets the best gas mileage, you're not going to change someone's mind. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is don't try and worry about what other people say. Just remember, share the positive and leave the negative. Okay. The German school is all about smell. So when I think of the German school, it's like, oh, that's a good smell. You smell amazing. It's kind of like the people who love Bath and Body Works. They might not ever want your oils because they heal, but they're going to want your oils because they smell good. They're the people that buy the Thieves Cleaner because it smells like pumpkin spice. They're the ones that buy your hand soap because it smells like lemon and it's amazing. Okay. They're the ones who want to have the diffusers in their house. So the German school is all about smell. It makes it delicious and lovely and beautiful. And it's TikTok perfect and Instagram perfect. And that's the German school when you think about it. And then the English school, those are the skeptics. Those are the ones who might be against you. I've actually had people, massage therapists. I'm in a lot of massage therapist Facebook groups to kind of network. And I will recommend Raindrop to people because of people with scoliosis or back issues or back pain. And the massage therapists are afraid to touch their backs. Well, in aromatherapy training in their massage school, it's all British based. So when they hear me recommend Raindrop, they've been actually told by their aromatherapy instructors that Raindrop should never be done on clients. And they'll start to fight with me. And I don't even waste my time anymore. I actually just delete my comment and I move on. I wait another week to post something. Okay. So if you have people against you, remember, it's not worth your energy. Do not worry about trying to make them feel that you're right. Just move on to people who do believe in you. Okay. Like the people who don't really believe in the Bible. How are you going to get them to believe in the Bible when you keep saying, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong? That's not our job. Our job is to treat them how Jesus would treat them, like Christ, and show them love. So if someone is against you, but they like the smell of it, maybe say, well, can I make you up a diffuser blend? You don't have to put it on your body. You can just put it in your diffuser and you can smell it and you can enjoy the pumpkin smell. You don't have to make them a roller that prevents throat infections or lung infections. You can just say, hey, put this perfume on. You're going to love it. You're going to smell like Christmas, and enjoy that with them. Just enjoy what they want. Meet them where they're at. Okay. So that's how I view the 3 schools of aromatherapy. I love the fact that we're going to meet people from every walk of life. We have no idea what the person that is behind us in line is going through. Maybe they just lost a parent. Maybe they just sent their child off to boot camp. Maybe they're dealing with a divorce, all these negative things that could be going on with them. So if you smell like essential oils and they mention something to you, that's an invitation to say to them, hey, would you like to try it sometime? I can just take your phone number and I can drop off a sample with you. They may want to be one of those Raindrop people on your table or one of those VitaFlex people on your table. I was speaking to Chris on the phone the other day and she's like, I'm telling everybody about this stuff. I don't even care if they want to listen to it or not, because I know this works. I know this feels good and I want to get oils on everybody. And that's awesome. That's like the vigor I want to see everyone have, is we don't have to try and change people's minds. We need to find the French model people who want to be with us and walk that journey with us. Okay. And don't ever discount somebody. Maybe you think someone can't afford what you are offering. I charge $175 a Raindrop. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for 1 hour or 90-minute session. And of course they can get a discount if they bring their own oils, but that's quite a bit of money to spend for 90 minutes. And it's not even a massage. It's body work. It's energy work. It's oil anointing. And so when people come to me, they come because they want healing. And many, many people who don't have the money for other extravagant things, but they see that these oils work and they're emotionally feeling better, they will come to you with their money, their hard-earned money, and say, I want what you have. I can see that you're feeling better. I want what you have. And if you're getting Raindrops regularly, if you're doing the oils on yourself, they're going to want what you have. Okay. Don't discount anybody. All right. The best way to optimize the benefits of aromatic oils is to be open to administering them in any and all pathways. So in class, we learned about 4 ways, 4 pathways. You can ingest them, right? You can put them in your mouth. You can inhale them through your nose. You can apply them to your skin. And then also you can use them internally through certain areas that you would use in the bathroom. And I'm in Panera, so I'm not going to go through that right now if people are around me. The main reason why we have these 4 ways in the French model is because they've practiced them in all ways, and we don't believe the scare tactics of the British model. The British model talks about lots of stuff that the French model would never subscribe to because it's based on lies and fear. So let's talk about that really quickly. We're on page 4. So the British School of Aromatherapy emphasizes massage with essential oils diluted in carrier oil 2 to 5%. So that would be like saying 100 drops of 100 drops of carrier oil like V6 and only 2 drops or 5 drops of essential oil. That's 2 to 5%. Okay. They discourage the use of essential oils neat on the skin. So you would never be able to take a bottle of Valor and just put it in your hand and rub it on somebody who does the British model. They don't recommend taking it orally as well. Aromatherapy came to Great Britain in 1950 when Madame Marguerite Maury, who was French, moved to England. She was a biochemist who had studied the oils in Paris and was familiar with the medical applications of aromatherapy. However, as a non-physician, she felt that she could focus on non-medical usages and establish a model of diluting oils for massage and beauty applications. Later, others in Great Britain, such as Robert Tisserand, do you guys know plant therapy oils? Have you ever heard of that? It's another type of oil that's like around the market. It's not an MLM, I don't think. But they do the British model, and he's the one who created that company, and he's the one who kind of puts a lot of negative out there around Young Living. So they were associated with massage and fragrance industries, and they became proponents of the Maury model, the woman who founded it. It was this that they became to emphasize more of the aroma rather than the therapy. Okay. They rely on scientific studies. This is in paragraph 2, and research on animals. So let's talk about why research on animals is not valid. It's really not valid for us to use research models from animals, because when you think about an essential oil and dilution ratios, it's very, very different. So animals, when you apply an essential oil to the skin, part of what it does is it goes to the pores, and animals have fur. Okay. So when you put an essential oil on an animal's fur, it's going to wick that oil straight into one hair follicle and be very, very concentrated in those areas. So when you put it on your skin, you don't have fur, and you have a very, like, much more even spacing of your hair follicles. So it doesn't go in there. It doesn't irritate the hair follicles. It doesn't go in and just go into one direct spot. So when you are doing animal studies, it's not apples and apples. It's apples and grapefruit, or apples and like pineapple. It's nothing close. So when they do that, they're just destroying the study anyway. And then you have the size difference. When you put it on 50 drops of oil, 50, onto a mouse compared to what you would put onto a human, I never use 50 drops of oil ever unless I'm getting a raindrop, and especially not an oil that has high in phenol content. So one of the examples they have in the book, it talks about how they used cinnamonic acid, which, unlike the essential oil cinnamonic acid is one compound in there that has been created in a laboratory. And we didn't talk about this too much in our last class, but one of the main things that they have is chemical compounds called quenching compounds. And what they do is this molecule and this molecule come together. They're in the same oil. They come together and they combine, and it makes it not as spicy. So the cinnamonic acid is very spicy by itself, but there's other things in that oil that combine to make it not so spicy. It doesn't go in and burn. But when it's by itself, it burns. It can even eat through tissue. And so what they did was they took the cinnamonic acid that they made in a laboratory. They put 50 drops on pregnant rats' uteruses. Okay, so they had to cut open the skin of pregnant rats, and they put 50 drops on that uterus. And then their conclusion was that cinnamon oil, the full oil, is not safe to use while pregnant. So think about that. Is that even anywhere near using a cinnamon oil versus cinnamonic acid? Like that's not the same. That's apples to astronauts. We're totally different ballgame there. So the British model, and much like other people in the world, they have this concept that essential oils are unsafe. Have you seen those articles floating around Facebook where they're like, don't use essential oils if you have pets, you're going to kill your pets? That's because of these poor models of study. That's because people with Glade plugins that have aromatherapy molecules in them have left their animal shut into a room, and then the animal had respiratory distress because it couldn't breathe because it was using a fake fragrance that was made in a laboratory. So you can kind of see my point here is that the British model used false evidence and then fear to really ruin the concept of safe therapeutic plant aromatherapy. So if anyone comes up to you and says, you know what, these aren't safe, I don't think you should be using them, you can go into this chapter and say, you know what, I've done the studies myself. I've looked at studies. I've done the research. I know that they're safe because we're not doing poor studies. We're not doing poorly done experiments on ourselves. We're using it appropriately, you know, smaller amounts. We're using it appropriately because we're using the full oil bottle. And we're not doing it in ways where we would hurt our body, like pouring it into an open wound or onto flesh that's been sliced and on a pregnant uterus. Okay, so just so you know, if anyone comes at you and says oils aren't safe, you can talk about the reasons why the internet is not a great place to do their research on. Okay, go to the books. Go get some really good aromatherapy books by Kurt Schnaubelt. There's a few other ones out there that are good. And let them know you've done the research. You don't have to worry. You've tried it. You've had it. In a raindrop, I believe there's like over 100 drops of oil in every raindrop. So you're definitely experiencing a lot of oil and you didn't die, but you also really felt great, right? So you don't have to worry too much. I think when people smell it, they start to calm down. But when the internet, because people can be so nasty on the internet, they just start being rude. You know, have you ever seen someone like where you were excited about something and then someone else saw it and they're like, that's stupid, that's dumb. And just because they're not next to you, would they say that to you if you were sitting next to them at the kitchen table? I doubt it. Okay. So, and then on page 6, I want to bring to you the point that says oils that heal versus oils that don't heal. Before exploring the literature on essential oil chemistry, it's important to understand the framework in which various authors write, okay? Oils that heal are full plant oils. Nothing has been added. Nothing has been taken away. Nothing was created in a laboratory. Nothing was created after the fact and changed molecularly, okay? They distill it at the perfect temperature, perfect time of season, and versus something that's oils that does not heal where it was made in a laboratory. They can make menthol oil in a laboratory. They can put it in a bottle and say, this is peppermint, and really it's just menthol. Have you ever smelled like Bengay or Tiger Balm or anything that has that like wintergreeny menthol smell? It's all made in a laboratory. None of that's real, okay? So they can emulate the smell because we know how chemistry works, and all of the essential oils are made based on chemistry. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Oh, I don't know that number. So the main thing is we need to know that our oils are pure, and other things, like if you were to go buy a bottle of frankincense from Walmart, it's not pure. It's $5. We know it's not pure, but they probably made one molecule that was in there that showed them that, oh, it can pass a frankincense test. So now it's frankincense, when in reality, it's never going to heal. It's never going to be good enough. And it's always going to cause more side effects and more irritation than it would ever heal. Okay. So that's all we're going to do right now. I'm going to do a little bingo now. So it's not really bingo. It's just like, what oil am I talking about? Because I think it's important to have a little bit of fun. So in our chemistry book, we are going to use our charts. Does anyone have any questions on oils that heal versus oils that don't heal? Sorry, I'm moving kind of fast. No? Good? Okay. Lindsay, you do have a chemistry book. Okay, cool. So I want everyone to turn to part 2. We did our tabs in our class. You'll do this in class too, Lindsay. And that's on page 494 and 495. So I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask people, and I'm going to give you clues on what it could be. And then the winner, the first one to get it, will get a free bottle of this in the mail. Okay. So part 2 is all about our tables. Now, the tables are super, super fun because it tells you what's in the chemistry of the essential oil. Now, the first table is all about the plant names. Okay. And it tells you their botanical name, which is the Latin name, and it also tells us the common name. And then table 32 is all of the chemical compounds. So I'm going to use stuff from both of those tables, and I'm also going to use stuff from tables 35 through 49. Those are the percentage content in each oil. And then I'm going to go through table 50 and table 66, and we're going to talk about what might be in there. Okay. So the first thing, give me just a minute. I want everyone to get familiar with their chart. So just look around for just 1 second. I'm going to get my questions ready. And I'm going to make sure I have the right thing. 1 second. I tried playing with this, my son, and he was like, I don't get it, Mom. So I have to teach him a little bit more. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Man. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to tell you guys, this oil, okay, has furanocoumarins in it. Furanocoumarins. Okay. So what I would recommend is figuring out how you find what a furanocoumarin is. Maybe you need to look in the index, or you can look in that chart and see where the coumarins are in that area. Furanocoumarins and coumarins should be in the same area.
And so what's the exact question?
So the first thing you're going to do is just find out the list of all the oils that have the furanocoumarins. Okay. So I'll walk you through how to do this. How about that?
I think I found it.
Okay. So once you have that, I'm going to give you the next thing in just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I did find it in the index on page 809 in my book. In case you needed to know. And then on page 565 gives you a table that has coumarins and also furanocoumarins. Okay, so Those are all of the ones that have furanocoumarins in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let me see here. Is there another one? Okay, so yeah, that's the last spot. Okay, so that's gonna be the best spot to be on, 565. So then from 565, you can use that to be like that's your simplified chart. So now you know it's got to be one of those oils, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then I want you to look up based on one of those oils, it also has alpha pinene in it. So it also has alpha pinene. So what would you do now? Poor Lisa, I'm having a hard time with her jumping in and out. I'm gonna put the chat on and make sure. So furanocoumarin and then alpha pinene. Okay. So what I would do is go to the alpha pinene chart and I would find that by looking at the first table, the first part table, and then I would go to 40 most popular compounds and 573. And I would look that up. Anyone having any issues? You guys doing okay?
No.
Okay, so you can go to the most popular monoterpene table. And that's on page table 60. Okay. So once you go to table 60, you see alpha pinene is on there. Okay. Okay.
So we're looking for something that's in both pages.
Mm-hmm.
Black pepper.
Which one?
They list black pepper over there and on there.
Black pepper. Black pepper is on there, and so is on that one. Good. So I would put a little line or a dot next to everything that's on the same thing. Okay. Might
Okay.
take a few minutes. Okay. Is this making sense, you guys?
Yes.
Good.
Is there only 3, or will you not tell us how many there is?
There's not many. So what 3 do you have, Marianne?
Dill, lime, and black pepper.
Very good. So that's what I have as well. So now you have it narrowed down to 3. Okay.
Mhm.
So now we're going to go and figure out the next thing that it could be. I'm going to give you another clue. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. Lost my page. Okay. Okay, so this one has another component in it called an aldehyde. Okay. So how would you find out of those 3, which one has aldehydes in it?
Jump to the aldehyde table.
Aldehyde table. Yep.
Is there just one?
Which one?
Lime.
Lime. Oh, there's 2 then.
Okay. Black pepper.
Or maybe they all have it in. Maybe I didn't check this one good enough.
So I'm also getting fennel.
Did
Am I doing something wrong? Fennel, and then is it called cistus? Cistus?
cistus? Yeah. So that one's on both too.
That was on table 60, well, 30, 38, 60, and now 36. So I'm a little confused.
Okay. So what we want is something with alpha pinene, uranocoumarins in it. So it has to be on both of those charts. And then once you have those 2, black pepper, lemon, lime. Okay, then out of those 3, I didn't check all of them. Let me see here. Fennel, is it on both? Let me see here. Fennel is not on the table 60 chart. Oh,
Mine
it
does have,
is. Yes,
mine
it's
does
right
have it.
here. It is. So it's fennel.
Okay.
Okay. And then cistus, you have cistus as well. Let me see here. It is 1%. Look at that. So I did it backwards, you guys. I found my stuff like the other way, and I'm going backwards in my notes. So forgive me. This is the first time I've ever played this. You guys are catching the teacher. Good job. Okay, so out of those, and I'm just gonna give you a clue because the one that was the answer was already said in the number 3s that we did in the beginning. So it's one of those first 3. Very good though, Pam. You got all of them. So now you're gonna go to aldehyde contents and you're gonna check which ones are in there. Okay. And actually, why is the one that I have not on that chart? Maybe it's just less. Okay, let me go see here. My kid, like I said, my kid also didn't get it when I was teaching him how to do this. Maybe I'm just doing it a poor way. Forgive me. Okay, this is, okay. Okay, so yeah, the one I'm thinking of has that on there. So why don't you go into chart table 32 and look up those 5 oils. So black pepper, lime, lemon, fennel, and cistus. And figure out which ones have aldehydes. Okay? Go from that way. And the specific aldehyde that I was looking at is called geraniol. So look for geraniol.
Geraniol.
Yep. And then you guys figured out which ones have geraniol? Figured it out yet? I'm sorry, Lisa.
I do. Wait. I think so.
Yeah?
Is it
What do you think?
lime?
The 2 that have geraniol are which ones?
Crap, I only see lime. Hang on. I don't see 2. Okay, hang on.
So weird. Yeah, I knew fennel was not, it's on this chart, but it wasn't. So fennel's not one of them, just so you know. Okay. Okay, who has the 2 that has geraniol? Anyone?
Nope. I believe lime, but I didn't find the other one.
Okay,
I found lime too.
good.
Well, we'd really be screwed if this wasn't an open book test.
Yeah. They don't even do anything this hard on the test. This is just to play with your book and to get in the book more and to see all the cool stuff that's in it. Because
Right.
when you take your advanced aromatherapy training to become a board certified aromatherapist, we have to know detail by detail how to blend. And if we want something specific, we want an oil that does XYZ. And we don't want to just say, oh yeah, we want lemon because it's cleansing. We want to know which molecule and which compound cleanses. So once you know which one has geraniol in it, then you can say, okay, cool. Geraniol and the furanocoumarins and the monoterpenes, they all do these specific things, and that's why I'm putting it into a blend. So when you look up, like if you say ncbi.org, essential oils for strep throat, it's going to tell you the compounds that do that kill strep throat. But you might not have all those oils. You might not have the specific things there. So you want to go in there and see, oh, it's the menthanate thiol in there. And so you're going to go look up in your chemistry book which oils have the thiols, and you can then make your own blend to kill strep throat. So that's how I use it. Okay. Should I give one more clue?
Well, I think, no, were we doing lemon or no?
Yes, lemon. Lemon's in there.
Okay, 'cause I was to say, I found it's not dill
Right. It's
and
not
it's not black pepper. So,
lemon
but
and lime. Very good.
lemon has 1 to 2%, and lime has 6 to 8.
Perfect. So out of
And I
those
can't,
two, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Fennel didn't have it in it, and Cystis didn't have it in it. Okay, so then out of those two, you're gonna find the one that has the highest content of monoterpenes. So how would you find that out?
Table 46. Would it be table 46?
There's several ways you can find out. So you can look it up in table 32A. You can
Okay.
find it on whichever one. They both,
Okay,
a lot of different places tell you content.
and you said monoterpene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, looks like lemon is 10. Where the heck is lime?
Lemon is 80%. Lime is 62.
Who's speaking? Who just said that? Was that Lisa?
I did, Lisa.
You
Yeah.
did, Sarah.
Was I right on that?
Yes. So lemon's the
Lemon has 80%.
Oh,
Oh,
she
I just found the
found the page. Which page did you find it on?
569.
569. Okay, so go on to 569, and you can see there that it
60.
shows you the contents on 569, and lemon is at 80% and lime is 62% on average. So Lisa found that. You can also see that in table 32 where it explains all of lemon and explains all of lime. You can see that right there. It's 70 to 90% for lemon, and it's 40 to 80% for lime. So both of those answers would have been correct. So Lisa, you'll get an oil, you will get an oil in the mail, lemon oil in the mail. Okay, my dear? Does everyone get that? How to do that?
Yep.
Kind of fun to play around. So we'll do that again next week. So just practice playing around with the charts and go looking. And then what I love to do is even take all my oils that I have and start sorting them by different compounds. So even if you just did this to play with, like maybe you needed monoterpenes for cancer, right? You needed what monoterpenes do to kill cancer cells. Maybe you put in the higher level of monoterpene oils on the left side and then go down to the right side. And then you just start knowing, okay, these are my oils I need for the people who have cancer in their lives. And you can't say cancer with Young Living. Remember that. So just say these oils promote healthy cell growth. Okay. If you want to talk about that on your Facebook or social media, when you're with people privately, you can say whatever you want. It's a freedom of speech, but social media and Young Living, they don't want any bad blood. Okay. So that's how we do it. I have a ton of, I'm so grateful for all you guys jumping in tonight. This is recorded, but I don't plan on posting these recordings. I'm just going to make it exclusive for whoever can join in. But if you guys ever have a subject that you want me to bring up and talk about when we're in class, it's 8:27, so we're going to end a little bit early here. But if you ever have questions you want me to bring up or talk about, send them to me in the meantime. But my goal is to meet up every Monday night and chat and go through some stuff. And then we'll do a book study one day a month is what I'm thinking is. So I'll tell you what book to read at the beginning of the month. At the end of the month, we'll cover the whole book. This book is going to be over the year. We're going to do this every Monday night a little bit for the whole year. So you'll start getting chunks and little bits because it's a big book. But the other book's a little bit smaller and we can digest those a little bit more easily. Okay. So go ahead and get started reading the VitaFlex book. We'll discuss that at the end or beginning of October, depending on when I can make that happen. I have a wedding at the end of the month. But yeah, so I will I was going to give away a return demonstration, $25 off a return demonstration for one person. And I don't know how to, there's so many people on here who need their return demo. So I'll have to find a way. To rally that off. What should I do? Any ideas? Maybe the first one to book their return demo will get $25 off. How about that? First one who's ready to take it and pays for their fee, I'll give you $25 off. So no pressure, anybody. No pressure. All right. So happy Monday. Have a blessed night. Remember to use.
Can I ask? Can I ask a question real quick since you're not, because I was like, you talk really fast sometimes, and I was like, oh, I'll just watch the replay. But if you're not going to post it, could you go over the colors again that you used when you're highlighting your final exam?
Yes. Okay. I'm a marker person, so
Yeah.
I have my stuff with me. So I did blue for raindrop,
Okay.
green for VitaFlex.
Okay.
And then I did purple for emotional release.
Okay.
I did yellow for chemistry.
Okay.
And then I did, I believe I did orange for the Bible oils. And then purple, yellow, orange, blue, green. And then I did pink for the handbook.
Okay. My notes weren't bad. I just missed the orange for the Bible oil. So thank you.
Nice. Good job. Thank you for telling me I talk fast. I get nervous.
Oh, no, it's fine. I just wanted to get the notes down. I
Something that
replay your
I'm
stuff a
working
lot.
on. Oh, I'm glad that you replay. So maybe it would be beneficial if I reposted this. I don't know.
Well, actually, because you went over, because you took down the one you did the other night on the handbook, the steps 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those, if those people aren't here tonight, they're going to be looking for that for clarification.
Maybe I'll make it a shorter video and just do that. Or
Yeah,
I'll
you could just,
the whole thing. I don't know.
yeah, totally up to you.
But you're right. I don't want to have to do that video again. And I was able to get that out tonight. I just,
Yeah.
Is it too distracting for me to be at Panera and doing this? Is it too loud?
No, I don't hear any of the background music.
Oh,
I didn't either. Just you.
I tried to find a spot with not a big speaker above me, but it's kind of loud on my end. So I might wear earplugs next time. Or
Sure.
yeah. Okay, guys. Well, please, if you don't mind, if I post this, will you put in the comments that it was helpful and fun, and we'll just do a little bit of a what you thought of it, just so that people know to jump on for next week. Because my goal is to get 10 people certified by next summer. And I really, really, really want to grow care. And it's not a very I guess the mission is not super a big deal to everybody, but for me, we have to take back the truth in this world. And with all the crap that goes on constantly in the world, like people sharing that, you can get the COVID virus again and this and that, I just want people to know that they're okay, that their bodies are made to be healthy. So if you don't mind sharing a little, like, yeah, come to this class, it's fun on Monday nights, it would be great in the group. So no big deal if you don't. So thanks so much. Love you. Sweet dreams. Happy Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.